Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another grounded video where today we are going to be talking about more traps and also some very helpful building techniques that I believe are the key to building really cool bases and are going to help you guys do everything in this game that has to do with building a little bit easier. But the first thing I want to answer right away for you guys is a way to build that trap better. Now, I put out this trap video yesterday and it got some good positive feedback, but there was also a lot of negative feedback because of the amount of clay that it takes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build you guys a new trap that I've been testing out that I think is going to work a little bit better, that uses less clay. So let's get to work on it. It's still going to need your guys' centralized trap, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe this one out really quick, and then I'm going to get the basics of it put down and explain what I'm doing as I'm building. Okay guys, so here we are. This is the basics of the new trap. Okay, so what I have done is I have reduced down the number of clay exponentially. You're gonna need about 16 clay to build this, 4 for the middle and then 4 for each of the sides. So I think that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 clay. 20 clay is what you're going to need all in all in order to build this guy, okay? Instead of the massive amount, which was like 300 clay for the last one, which is a ridiculous amount. So 20 clay isn't that hard to get, but what is going to be a little bit more difficult about this trap is instead of one solid line of spike strips that you're going to need, you're going to need to put down multiple. So what I would suggest you do is you start by just lining each one of the corners like so, and you just go through and you put down these guys. So that way, boop, and then boop. So that way the lure trap is going to be protected on all sides. And then you keep doing this. You keep putting down more and more traps along maybe the outside up here like this, right? So you put some right here. You put one underneath it like that. And then what this is going to do is this is going to keep the ants from being able to come any one direction. But you're probably wondering, well, Sim, you have some big angles here. You know, how in the world did the ants going to get only to your traps without getting to the lure trap in the middle? And that's actually an easy question to answer, all right? Because what you're going to do is you're going to angle these bad boys like this, right? So what's going to end up happening is you're going to have 3 or 4 spike traps no matter what direction you're coming off of this trap. Now it seems like a lot of materials because you guys, these traps are technically 3 weed stems, 3 thistle needles, 1 sap, and 2 woven fiber. So you're going to need a lot of stuff. But when you guys are talking about in the greater scheme of things that you're going to be getting unlimited ant eggs, can you really complain about having to spend some time farming up resources? Now, the ants will not attack this as long as you don't aggro them. So that is why this one is built a little bit further away from the ant hill than the other one, because as you guys saw in the last video that flopped completely, that a lot of people didn't like that video, or the fact that I had made an ant trap at all, that the ants came through and just pretty much wiped out the whole base, right? But in this one, the ants won't really technically aggro your character, so they won't be destroying your base right off the bat. But as you can see, as long as you keep going in kind of this outcropping circular pattern along the outside here. Now, I'm doing this in creative, yes, so this is obviously going to be way faster, but this is just showing you guys how you could build this trap to make it so the ants will never get to the lure trap, but will constantly be trying to get to the lure trap and will end up dying in the end because they won't be able to find a safe way to the lure trap without going through all of these spikes. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in. Well, we're not going to spawn in an ant. You guys have seen me do that enough, so we're not going to spawn in an ant. We're just going to say, guys, that this trap will definitely work. It's a lot different from the last one. It doesn't look nearly the same, but let's get on to the building tips and tricks that I can help you guys with now. Okay guys, here we are back in my main base, okay, and today I have 5 tips and tricks that are going to help you guys with your building, okay? Some of them are very known, some of them are not, so I figured I'd help you guys out with that. So the first one I want to talk to you guys is about wearing ant armor, okay? If you guys look, I can now carry 8 things. Now, it's showing that I have a glitch, so it's not allowing me to carry 8 things, but there we are. You can carry 8 planks of grass as long as you have on a full set of ant armor here, okay? So if you have all 3, you get the additional carrying weight, okay? So if you look right here, hauling strength plus, you get 1 per piece of ant armor. So make sure you guys are wearing ant armor because it will help you guys in your building, because it'll allow you to build things faster, and next thing you know, you're gonna have a mega base like I have over here. Okay, the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is an easier way to get more plant fiber. Okay, you guys could run around all the time. Set these down right here for a minute. You guys could run around all the time looking for tiny little pieces of plant fiber. Or you guys can do this. This is a very easy way to get plant fiber. All you do is you cut down one of the grass stalks, and if you come to the actual grass stump and you hit it twice, it breaks into 4 to 6 pieces of plant fiber that you're able to pick up. And this will allow you to make more bandages, make more woven fiber that you're going to need for crafting. Okay, so I would suggest that you guys go ahead and try that out because it's super helpful for me. Whenever I need emergency plant fiber, you can just cut down a tree and get a whole bunch of it. I now have 20 more plant fiber from cutting down just a couple grass stalks. So, moving on to tip number 3, gather piles before a base building. Okay, so you guys could come out here and you guys could cut down a bunch of sticks, a bunch of grass blades. You could leave them all over the ground and you could pick up 5 at a time or 8 at a time if you're wearing ant armor and carry them to where you're going. But what you will notice is if you take a little bit of extra time and you build yourself a couple of these storage bins where you can put down extra grass planks when you're cutting down, and you have a centralized spot, then you can move a lot faster. And what you will notice is your game will actually run better if you don't have stuff just laying all over the ground. That's why I always tell people, pick up all of your ant parts, pick up your spider parts, pick up your larva parts. Don't leave things on the ground. Don't leave planks on the ground, clovers, sap, anything like that. If you guys see it on the ground, just pick it up because it will help your game run faster. Now, what I'm going to say is you don't have to pick up like these guys, right? These little plant fibers that are growing in the ground, those are fine. If the sap is up here like this, you don't have to break that. But if there's pieces on the ground, pick it up because it will help load times, because it's less things that the game has to remember that it has to be laying there when you log in. Okay, the other thing I want to talk to you guys is blueprint mode. You guys can use blueprint mode to plan out massive bases. So what you can do is you can actually put down blueprints of what you have to do, and then you guys can test out your design to see if you're going to like it. Hello, Mr. B. Anyway, so if we come over here and say I go into build mode, and I'm like, okay, let's put down some blueprints of a new building that I want to build. Okay, first thing I'm going to need is a couple floors. Let's do a good old 3x3 here. There we go. Nice 3x3 house. Now we're going to go back into build, and I'm going to go ahead and you know what? Let's grab stem walls. Let's grab some stem walls, and let's just put down the stem walls, okay? But as you can see here, you guys are seeing that I can now plan out exactly how I want the base to look and say, you know what? No, I want that to be a window instead. Now obviously I fell to the ground, so that's not going to be helping, but you can wipe it out easier just by pressing X on the building that you're working on. Mr. Spider, how many times have I told you I do not have time for you? Now you're dead. Anyway, please don't mind that weapon. I'll talk to you guys more about that in other videos. The weapon that you can use to 4-shot wolf spiders, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. You guys can just press X in order to build. The last building tip that I have for you guys is, nobody uses enough light. So you should use light in your base. Light does not attract any bugs at the moment, so you should use light around, because when you're building, it'll allow you to keep building at night. And you can keep building at night if you want to. So for instance, like I was saying right here, we don't want that guy. Let's go back into the build menu here. And let's grab, instead of this guy, let's grab maybe a stemmed window right here. This one, this nice wooden stem window. That looks a lot better. You guys can go like that. You can also place things at angles and stuff, guys. But the last thing I want to tell you guys, this isn't a tip, okay? I've given you guys 5 tips on building. But the last thing I want to tell you guys with building is have fun and be creative. Nobody is ever going to fault you for having a 2x2 base that you just used to house some stuff. But at the same time, everybody's gonna love it if you guys build massive, cool looking bases. And if you guys do that, I really want to see pictures of them on my Discord. So if you guys want that link, it is down in the description. So guys, make sure you guys click on that link to the Discord and join there and post me pictures of your bases. I have a grounded chat that's full of awesome community members that would love to see what you guys are building and everything that you guys have done so far. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is do not underestimate the repair tool, because it is very nice to have one of those when you're building, especially if you build at ground level where a lot more ants and stuff can come and attack your base. But if you build up, then you won't have to worry about that. But thank you guys all so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please hit that like button. Let me know you guys want to see more, and I will keep